Pro Boxing fans, we are here in London with Izzy Asif, the main man for GBM. GBM is making waves, and the next bit and the next news for GBM is with us regarding Shaq and Peters. Izzy, just tell us what's going on, mate.
Yeah, we've got it back on. Daniel Dos Santos versus Shaq and Peters for the light heavyweight European title. We're meant to have it on a few weeks ago in Sheffield. Didn't happen for medical reasons. Obviously, we was devastated of losing such a great fight, and there was talks whether this fight's going to happen again. There was talks whether Daniel was going to pass his medical to boxing men. We've got the all clear from the Federation of French Federation and the British Boxing Board of Control. It's officially happening. Your call in the capital, April the 4th, top of the bill, live on DAZN. Yes, and I'm one. After Shaq performance last time, Shaq and Peters, this is a fight I'm even looking forward to even more, because I thought Shaq and Peters were explosive. You were accurate. You were determined. And if he brings that kind of level of fighting and IQ and determination, I think it's be one heck of a fight.
Just talk to me about the stumble that you've had to sort of get it to where it's been. Obviously, finally we can announce it, but I'm sure there's been a bit of a battle to get this to where it should be.
Yeah, it's not been easy whatsoever. You know, nearly done, gonna get done. You know, there's issues with medicals. He's never gonna box again. He's back and forth. It's hard as a promoter, because you line yourself up for a fight. You're gonna promote a fight. You know, we spent money on a fight. We flew Daniel over from France. We sent a content team out to him. You know, and then when it don't happen, it's disheartening. It's hard as a promoter, and this is sometimes people don't see that. You know, we don't get money reimbursed on that. You know, we spent on his flights, we spent on the promotion, and yeah, I understand the risk element, and I'm in the risk business, and I'm a promoter, and I understand that these are the kind of things you've got to deal with. But yeah, it's just when you actually finally get it over the line, a fight that you've made, you won the purse bid for, it's a nice feeling. And April the 4th, it's going to be one heck of a show and one heck of a fight, especially with Daniel Dos Santos and Shaq and Peters for the light heavyweight European crowd. A big title, a big position. Winner goes on for the bigger fights and bigger nights.
Let's talk about the rest of the card. Obviously, Emma Dolan, we can see her on there. She's behind us as well. And we've obviously got the Irish versus the Welsh. Interesting fight card, and also Huey Fury. So let's break the fight card down slowly. Break it down for me, man. You start off.
Yeah, let's start with what? Should we start with the title fights? Obviously, we mentioned the Shaq and Peters and Daniel Dos Santos. We've got Emma Dolan versus Lauren Parker for the flyweight, British, Commonwealth and flyweight titles. Listen, a serious fight, a fight that both of them believe win. It's 1 versus 2. Everything at stake. Lauren's in the backyard. Emma's been asking for this fight. She's been pestering me, saying, let's get this fight done. You know, when a fighter pesters you, it's not about them annoying you, it shows you how much they want it. So she believes I could feel that. Don't know if you felt it, the energy that she feels like she's a level above Lauren. Lauren Park on a home turf, former European champion, believes that she deserves a chance. She's saying this is the first press conference she's been to. So she's going to like it when we do Your Call with the glitz and the glamour and the production and the build-up. She's going to love this. So yeah, one I'm looking forward to. And then the one, Ireland versus Wales, you heard it, both credible amateur records, both undefeated. Ben Crocker, who's trained in Wales by Gary Lockett, yes. Gary Lockett. He's confident. And you know, I've said earlier on, they took this fight within 15 minutes each of a phone call. The phone call happened to Ben's team. It was within 15 minutes, yes. Exactly the same as Tina Bradley. The phone call was yes, both undefeated, all on the line. Show your levels. They keep telling me, Tina Bradley, who's a signed fighter by myself, keeps telling me I'm world class, I'm up there with the best. Well, these are the kind of fights we want to make. Whether I'm invested in them or not invested in them, I want to see these fights. DAZN want to see these fights. The viewers want to see this fight. The media outlets want to see these fights. We're making it happen, and this is going to be a cracking fight. Undefeated, both undefeated. IBF super lightweight belt on the line, all at stake.
Huey Fury. Talk to me, man. I know you've just announced a deal with Peter was sat here, and you've announced a multi-fight deal with Huey. But look, I'm going to be very honest, and I spoke to Peter whilst you guys were having the press conference with the ladies, and I said a lot of people are saying, look, Huey's right now outside that mix of the Riyadh season boys, the boys who are fighting on these big cards. How much do you want to make sure that you get him there and get him there to the Huey Fury that, you know, people have been told about for years now?
So we made it very clear with Peter. He's not coming on just to have a few fights and a few wins. He wants to mix with them boys. He wants the big world title fights. He wants the Riyadh cars. And for him to be able to do that, he's got to beat somebody with a credible record, somebody who's ranked, somebody who's dangerous, and that's what we're going to make happen. He's on the Your Call card. We haven't announced an opponent yet, and then potentially in May with a huge fight. A fight that people think, wow, how have they made this happen? Because listen, if he wants to mix with them boys, he's got to beat somebody credible. And what I love working with Peter Fury, he makes it no secret. He goes, whether it's my son or not son, if he's a real deal, he's got to beat certain people. He believes he belongs there with the Dubois, your Parkers, and that kind of level of fight. Well, he's got to beat the fights we put up against him. Can't officialise what we're going to do, but we've got a plan of 1 or 2 really respected, reputable opponents who are dangerous, really dangerous. And if Huey's not tuned up 100%, Huey Fury gets beat. And that's my responsibility as a promoter, is to make sure we give him opportunities. His job is to turn in the ring and put the performance on.
I do want to talk about boxing with you, and we want to talk about the heavyweights. We are talking about Hughie Fury signing with you guys with GBM. But look, there are a lot of big boys out there. Oleksandr Usyk was in London the last 2 days. I want to ask your opinion on this, Izzy. With Oleksandr Usyk, Barry McGuigan was on TalkSport. He said, look, Oleksandr looked a bit tired in that second fight. Maybe he should call it a day. Did you see that? I respect Barry McGuigan's opinion a lot because I've interviewed him a lot. He's a good man, and I feel like he's been there, done that. But did you see it that way?
I think that's going a bit far-fetched. Call it a day after being one of the most avoided, most unbeatable heavyweights in the world, Tyson Fury. Call it a day, I think. No, I think he's got more to give. I didn't particularly see him that tired. Look, Tyson Fury's a huge bloke, 6'9". It's not easy to look good against him. It's not easy to get within his reach. But I think Oleksandr Usyk did an extremely good job and got the win twice. Pound for pound, up there with number 1, number 2 potentially. Would he call it a day in his prime? Look, I don't know whether he's content with himself, because it all depends what he wants. Because it's a tough business, it's a hard business, it's a hurt business. Whether he's got any opportunity, but I'm sure the world we live in and the relationship he's got with Riyadh Season, if a big opportunity come, he'll take it.
I spoke to Alex Krasic, and also Oleksandr spoke about this the other day, and Alex said to me, listen, he's only got 2 fights left. They've said that the winner of Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois. What other fight would you give him? Because it's interesting, because he's done everything, he's clocked the game. So what else has he got to do?
Who's he got to beat? Is he going to want to risk it against a young, like a Moses Atama, young lion, hungry? Does he need to risk his legacy? And then who does he beat? He's beat all the boys he put in front of him. I'd say Wilder's not. He's not going to really appeal to him. There's got to listen at that level. It's a money fight. The money talks. Let's not kid it. Let's not say who is he going to be. It's what finance makes sense. And I don't know. Maybe the AJ rematch that could potentially. I don't know. Would that work? I know he wants. I know Dubois fight. They're looking at the Parker Dubois fight, and yeah, I think Dubois is one of them guys. I don't know if it's just me. Seems to improve all the time. I, for one, writ him off against Joe Joyce. I thought that were done, and now I can honestly say, put my hands up, I writ him off. He's one of them guys, and he keeps improving. If he beats Joseph Parker, what happens? Is he on the increase, and potentially Usyk? No, I won't say had enough, but maybe not got the same hunger. There's a bit of controversy with the body shot last time, which I thought was a legitimate body shot, but look, opinions and how he kind of looked at it. So look, interesting times, but he's got a smart team around him, and he'll call it a day when there's not enough opportunities or something that you don't think that he needs to take. Actually, you talked about Moses Atama there. Turki Al-Sheikh said a couple of months ago when he was doing some sort of interview that that's potentially a fight that he might want to make, is Usyk and Atama. But let's see if that happens. I do want to talk about Anthony Joshua, and this. It's a waiting game right now with Anthony. Obviously, I think a lot of notion that we're hearing is that he's waiting for the Tyson Fury fight. That's obviously not going to happen because Tyson's supposedly retired. We don't know if he is going to come back. For you, what do you believe the next move for AJ could be? Put your promoter's head on, what would you do? There's only one fight that AJ needs right now, and you know which one that is. That's the Tyson Fury fight. It's as simple as that. He's done unbelievably well. He's created legacy. He's filled stadiums out. He's done everything he wanted. He's lived an absolute dream. I'm hearing he's invested extremely smart, which is important for fighters. And look, what does he need to do? What does he need to prove apart from that fight that everybody wants to see, the rivalry, the good old British heavyweight fight? is the so-called supposedly retired Tyson Fury, who I believe will come out when the figures are right and the money's right. And listen, sometimes in boxing, people talk about, will he fight him, will he fight him? If the money's right, most people fight most people. Most fighters will beat most fighters. For the right money, I'll come out of retirement if you want. I might get beaten up after, I might get chinned after first round, but well, no, look, it's on a serious note, if the money's right, the fights happen. And at that level, that's what it's all about. The thing, risk and reward. Is it financially feasible for to take a certain fight? And when the money's right, Tyson Fury will fight AJ. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is for Tyson. That's a question, he could only answer. But I think AJ, the only fight for AJ really for me would be now Tyson Fury.
Okay. I do want to talk about some of the fights happening next week. But before that, I do want to talk about Canelo. Signed a 4-fight deal with Riyadh Season and Callout Sheikh. There's a big back and forth now between Canelo and Jake Paul because obviously Jake Paul said, listen, he signed the contract and now he's not doing it. But was this just great business from Canelo to play, like, sort of negotiate with both sides?
Yeah, listen, I for one, I don't want to see Canelo even jeopardise his legacy or kind of dent his legacy by fighting Jake Paul. Come on, Canelo is an all-time great, unbelievable, pound for pound, exciting, got a great reputation in the game. I think it's only going to dent him. His pockets might increase, his bank balance might increase, and I keep saying the fighters will do what's right for them financially. But for me, for one, I don't want to say, as a boxing purist, I won't want to see that fight. I don't think it's a real boxing fight. It is what it is, kind of situation. But Canelo's, he's exciting. I think the 4 fights. The fight I want to see with that is the Terence Crawford fight, and I think if anybody can make it happen right now in boxing, it's Riyadh Season and Turkey Sheikh is the people that can make this kind of fight happen. And I believe it will happen sometimes this year.
There's a whole twist to the Jake Paul situation now. Carl Froch has come out and said, listen, I'll fight you, but I'll give all more money to charity. What do you make of that?
Load of the time, it's a load of bullshit. They say that we'll give the money away, we don't want a purse. They all do it for the money. Let's not kid people out there saying we want it for this, we want to beat him. They do it because it's financially massive amounts of money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just don't come on camera and telling me you're doing it for charity, or you're doing it for this, or you're doing it for that. You just do it because you want financial reward. Yeah, that's what it is. But listen, I don't look into it because a lot of stuff gets said on the media. A lot of stuff gets said. I'm just like, listen, I don't listen to 90% of it because it gets twisted up and that. But nobody's doing it for charity. They do it for financially rewardable. I can argue some might do it for legacy. Some people might do it for legacy, but after you've created a legacy and you've done that, what is it? It's financial reward, and just call it for what it is.
Fair enough. Last 2 things I want to ask you about. Predictions on fights are happening in Riyadh next week. Big card, huge card. But give me firstly predictions for Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker.
I'll make it quick. Daniel Dubois. Okay. I don't know why. Even though Joseph Parker's a friend and I like him, I've got a lot of time. I just think Daniel Dubois in form. Massive win with AJ. He just seems to be improving all the time. He's managed by a good friend of mine, Reece Corn from Manchester, Inspire Sports, so shout out to them as well. So I've got to have my loyalty there as well. So I'm going to back Daniel Dubois to beat Joseph Parker.
And I've got to ask you about the main event, the rematch, Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. What a fight it was the first time around. This time around, Izzy, what happens?
Beterbiev is going to really let them punches go. I feel like he didn't let go last time. I feel like he didn't use his attributes, his strengths, with his power shots and the strength. I didn't feel like. But Bivol is an exceptional boxer, an unbelievable box on his back foot as well. I will really think they are all two-time greats, aren't they? The best on the planet at light heavyweight. But I just feel like Beterbiev's going to put that extra pressure on, exert that, plant his feet a little bit more, and really launch out and showcase his power, because that's his key, that's his power point, that's his key thing. He's got the power, he's got the strength, and he's not going to beat Bivol in a boxing fight. The only way he can fight him is fighting him, and that's what he's going to see more of, I think.
Interesting. It is good times for boxing. We are seeing a lot of good cards. Obviously, with we're going to hear about the announcement of Conor Ben Eubank on tour at some point. We're going to see some heavyweights fight. A few things going on in Riyadh, and supposedly there's actually a card going to happen in Alcatraz with Teofimo Lopez headlining it. Callout Sheikh Ring magazine. That's different, right?
Yeah, interesting. Listen, Turkey will shake Riyadh and see to do whatever they want. They do the unexpected. This is exciting about it. But listen, as much as there was a bit of criticism at the first thing, and I was probably one of them, so I'm guilty. The atmosphere is not there. But as it goes on, the fights get made. The fans get what they want. The fighters get what they want. The media outlets get to go to all the big fights. So really, it's a win-win situation. You know, and you can watch it all on the home of boxing, DAZN, the biggest sporting platform in the world, and we're fortunate. Obviously, we've got a nice platform that we can grow with, and I believe is going to be the home of boxing, the home of combat sport.
Izzy Asif, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much, and no doubt we'll be seeing you start of April in the capital, your call. Thank you very much for your time, mate.